Hi all, this is Dr. J at 11, coming to you live, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is less than delightful. It's snow on the ground for the first time this season. Yucky poo. I don't like snow. I had to clean off my car today. There was about 4 inches of snow on my car. It was soft snow, but in Long Island and New York, the streets get really rough to pass quickly and the traffic builds. So if you're driving late afternoon, as I did, and there was 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground, it was kind of hazardous. So I mentioned yesterday the wintry mix. I didn't think we were actually going to get this much snow as part of our wintry mix. I also predicted better with respect to Wall Street. I kind of felt that we'd have a reversal of the day before. That is, instead of being up early and then down late, I felt we would be down early and up late. I thought that we would end all the markets green. And that was my headline on my blog, Green Tomorrow. So I hit it on the nose with just about everything I said. But one thing, and that is yesterday was not a new high or low for any of the markets because it was down so much that it took out the Wednesday lows. So the Dow had a lower low today, even though it had a stellar day, as did the Nasdaq, as did the S&P 500. So we'll take a look at all of that. Amazon as well put in a new low. Apple, I think, did as well. They all basically did the same thing. Now, Apple basically carried the markets up today, as it did the day before when it carried the markets down. Apple had a very strong day. Amazon followed Apple's coattails. So when Apple was weak, Amazon was even weaker. But when Apple got strong, Amazon reversed totally, went from a steep loss to a decent sized gain. Apple, of course, was up over $4 on the day. Very nice comeback day. So I didn't get a chance to pick up any more Apple because it didn't dip to my next target. I'm happy that isn't the case. I will ride the amount of shares I now have. I bought 3 times. I bought at 188, 191, and 202. So I'm still slightly below my average price. I'm looking for 217. I really think it'll go higher than that, however. So where do I think the markets are heading now? Well, first I want that low to be put in. I want tomorrow to be enough of an up day, or at least not too bad a down day, so that it doesn't make a new low tomorrow. That is the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq. I want to see all higher lows on the day, and that would make me very happy, even if we don't have a phenom day tomorrow. What I'm thinking, though, is that we will have a very decent Friday. So I'm thinking we'll get a follow-up green candle in each of the markets. Let's take a look at the video charts. But before we do that, let me remind you, do your own due diligence. My opinions are my own and do not constitute investment advice, so you can follow me at your own risk. And please subscribe to this video, not to the video, to the channel. Like the video, write comments, share the link, do all those good things for good old Dr. J. Dr. J is thinking of you. In fact, I'm responding today to a request for an analysis of ViewRay, a little healthcare company that manufactures radiation equipment. I'm not really looking at the technicals. I'm just noting that the chart. So this is for that person who asked me in a comment to take a look at that. Okay, let's go to the video charts. I'm going to share my screen. And that takes about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Bingo. Okay, let's start with the Dow Jones Industrial Averages. So we were looking at 24,928 as being the low that I wanted to hold. It did not hold. So it actually went below 24,928 on the Dow. So therefore, we did not turn in a low on Wednesday. Therefore, I'm hoping with all I can hope that we get a nice green candle come tomorrow that will actually make a higher low and a higher high from today. That would make Dr. J's week, and that will make a lot of traders weak to end strong tomorrow. So let's hope that tomorrow the sun will shine tomorrow, or whatever the lyric is. So the Dow had a very nice turnaround day. It had been down quite a bit, over 200 points, closed up over 200 points. The swing must have been 400 or 500 points. That's a nice turnaround. I expect more of the same tomorrow. I expect this high, the recent high, 6 days ago, 11.8 of 26,277 to go rather quickly. So by the end of next week, we should take that out. And then we go on to make all-time highs on the Dow. I see about, conceivably, from here until the end of the year, straight up almost without a break. I think we had our correction, and I think it's over. And I'm feeling optimistic again. Dr. J has his rose-colored glasses on. A lot of you have been fretting, have been fearful, and I don't blame you. The reverberations of the last few days tied a knot in my stomach. So I don't blame you for having doubts about whether or not this is just a correction or that we actually entered a bear market on the recent downturn from 10.3. I don't believe that to be the case, but look, anything is possible. Only time will tell. I think with time, my theory should be borne out that we will make new highs, and then eventually we're going to get a tremendous crash, something like from 30,000 to 20,000, 33.33%. That's just a guess. I mean, your guess is as good as my guess, and it doesn't have to be a crash. It could be a sort of a slow, methodical decline. I just don't see it that way, considering the slow, methodical rise we've had over the last 10 years. I think the opposite will happen when it goes down. It'll be quick. It'll be violent. It'll definitely affect our stomachs, if not our heads, and certainly our wallets. It'll affect our moods, because when the Dow goes down precipitously, many of us have frowns on our faces. It affects our psyche. The market has an effect on people that they don't even realize, perhaps. Okay, so let's go on to look at the Nasdaq. The NDX, the Nasdaq 100, had a similar looking day to the Dow. I have to refresh this. So the Nasdaq closed up 120 after being down quite a bit. So it was a nice turnaround day for the Nasdaq, up 1.78%, better percentage than the Dow. And it too made a new low, a lower low from the day before. And we almost made a higher high. It would have been nice to have an engulfing, but that didn't quite happen. Nevertheless, I expect, just like the Dow, that today will be a relative low, that we will make a higher low tomorrow and another nice green candle with a higher high. So I'm looking for a higher low and a higher high tomorrow. Spider's the same. It's an identical picture to the Dow and the S&P. All right, Apple and Amazon. Amazon is an identical picture. Amazon had me worried, I must say. Whatever shares I have left from my original purchase at 1507, I was getting a little concerned that I would be giving it all my profits back on those shares. But it fortunately had a nice turnaround and closed up 20 on the day after being down as low as 1550 or some even lower maybe. So it was down considerably, had a huge turnaround. And I expect this more of the same as with the Nasdaq, the S&P, and the Dow. I expect today to turn in a low and tomorrow to be a higher low and a higher high. So I'm looking for a very good day tomorrow, or at least a decent day tomorrow. Apple. Apple actually turned in a little harami here, bullish harami. It also had a turnaround. It was down early on the day. Its low was 186.90, and its high was 191.97. It closed near the high. So it had a very nice day. It's down after hours for whatever reason. So maybe things are settling in with China. Maybe we won't have furtherance of the trade wars. I'm not sure exactly what the reasons. I think there was a bullish call somewhere today on Apple. So I'm not exactly sure what caused that turnaround. But I'm sure happy it happened, because as Apple goes, so goes the market, or so it seems. So I'm looking for another strong day from Apple tomorrow. Let's look at Amarin. Amarin, my first instincts when it was up yesterday was just a little dead cat bounce. Well, today it had another bounce up, but gave back much of the gains. So I'm not sure. Maybe this is a real thing. Maybe Amarin will climb right back up and start making new highs again. I just don't think so. My original instinct is dead cat bounce and further downside. So I'm going to go with my original gut feeling on Amarin. I sold half my position on Amarin. ViewRay. ViewRay is a diagnostic company that makes MRI radiation equipment for oncological purposes. It's high beam, high focus radiation. And it must have had some kind of bad news or bad earnings or something on 11/8, caused a big gap down. And my friend, my new viewer, pointed out to me that there's insider buying on this and asked what I thought of it. I said I don't follow it, but the chart looked like it needed some consolidation before coming back up. And that may or may not be true, because today was a nice bullish engulfing. So that might mean something. We'll see. I'm not sure, but a bullish engulfing is never a bad sign, and it's after a long downturn. So let's see how it plays out over the next 5 days. Maybe we can close that gap, fill that gap at a low of 867. That would be my target if I were playing it for a swing trade. Okay, so all in all, I think I'm going to have to give myself decent grades for my call yesterday rather. And let's see how my call tomorrow pans out, that we actually continue with another green candle in all the markets. Again, I'd rather be an optimist than a pessimist. And I think there's plenty of time for the bear to roar, just not yet. I think the bull is still in control. I think we'll get the buyers coming back tomorrow. They'll come out of the woodwork to snatch up bargains while they still have the chance. I think they were waiting for a turnaround day like today. They'll be in tomorrow, bad weather and all. Wall Street will be buzzing. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And it's adios, amigos, sayonara, shalom, ciao.